everybody, welcome to GBE Reviews. I'm your host Joe, and today I'm going to be talking about the anime Needless, or in Japanese, Needless. Needless is a 24-episode, single-season anime produced by Madhouse in 2009. It's an anime adaptation of a manga that shares the same name. I'm not 100% sure about this, but the second-to-last episode had a subnote that mentioned the anime was deviating from the manga and to read from chapter 50 if you wanted the original story. So again, I'm not sure if that's true, but that's something I saw, and it definitely makes sense considering the manga extended much further out than the anime itself. Alright, so let's talk about the story. To set the scene, the year is 2130. It is 50 years after World War III. The area the story focuses on is called the Black Spot, which is a desolate area of Japan that was hit by nuclear missiles. In this area there are nomadic people, and also people with special powers called Needless. They are basically like Japanese X-Men, with various levels of mutant powers. The one interesting thing about them is they can each only have a single power called a fragment. There's an evil corporation called Shimeon, which rules the Black Spot, and its leader Adam Arclight, his 4 strongest allies, and his Girl Squad are systematically rounding up and killing all the Needless. Enter our main character Cruz, a young boy who was a member of the Resistance that is trying to fight Adam Arclight. The story centers around Cruz and the companions he meets in their journey to defeat Adam Arclight and free the Black Spot. Over the 24 episodes of the anime, the backstory of the mysterious priest who joins Cruz named Blado and his companions Dr. Guido and Ivu are slowly revealed, along with backstories on each of the main characters, with a climactic set of reveals in the last third of the series. I found that the pacing of the story was excellent. You got enough information to carry you through each episode and keep you interested without being overwhelmed with too much information. The series also uses flashbacks to give the viewer relevant information about the past to each character in such a way that makes sense contextually, as in characters telling stories or recovering memories instead of just flashing back for the sake of flashing back. Also, there's a good deal of alliance switching, double-crossing, and hidden motives, which keep the story fresh and interesting. Overall, I'd say the story was compelling enough to keep me interested all the way through, and most of the questions I had during the series were answered by the end, which is extremely refreshing in what feels like a sea of plot holes and incomplete stories. Since the manga ran from 2003 to 2013, the anime adaptation took artistic liberties to finish the series in an alternate way. I think they absolutely did the right thing here to produce a solid anime, and the ending was extremely uplifting and left a smile on my face. I wish other anime would take a lesson from Needless and produce a satisfying alternative ending, instead of just some garbage cutoff that leaves the viewer feeling pissed and like they wasted all their time. The art in this anime looks solid. The character models are interesting and diverse, and there are a mix of lolly girls and massive oppai. Blade and Adam Arclight are both super jacked to an absurd level as well. There is also quite a bit of religious imagery in the anime, from Blade being a priest to the way he quote-unquote deals judgment to those enemies he defeats with a kind of cross shape. There's a lot scattered throughout the anime. As far as the fight scenes, they're done quite well. The characters have a unique array of powers, and they are all used frequently in the anime to offer a diverse visual experience. So I don't normally talk about the voice actors, but I noticed they felt very familiar, and when I looked some of them up, there were quite a few voice actors who were in roles I've seen before. If you look up a few of the characters, you'll see their voice actors have been featured in many anime, probably some you've seen in the past. As far as the soundtrack, it's sick. If you like instrumental heavy metal or speed metal, you're gonna love this album. There are some slower songs as well, but this album is generally fast and hard all the way through. Here's a few songs from the OST to give you a sense for what I'm talking about. One thing I really enjoyed about this anime was how all the best characters got solid backstories. I'm not going to say there was a ton of character development, minus some of the characters growing softer and turning good over time. Putting that aside, each of the main characters got quite a bit of backstory that was revealed throughout the anime. You got to know most of their motivations and how they became the people they are in the anime. Though there are many characters featured, the story mostly revolves around Blade, Eve, Adam Arclight, and Cruz and his sister. Some other characters get brief backstories, but the main focus is on the characters I just mentioned. Overall, each of the characters was interesting in their own way. Most of them weren't just insanely evil or heroically good. They had shades of good and bad, and they were quite interesting. They had superficial personalities during the lighter comedic moments, but had strong resolve and good character when the group was in a pinch. I especially liked the quirky nature of Eve and the relationship between Dr. Guido and the members of his research team. I found their dynamic to be quite interesting. Unfortunately, I found Adam to be a bit cliché. The fact that he was a bad guy because people were dicks to him in his past is regrettable, and reminds me of, every other anime I've ever seen. It's okay though. I think most of the other characters are far more interesting, and I'm okay with the other aspects of Adam because he's solid overall. Alright, time to answer that most important question. Should you watch this anime? So the kind of people who would like Needless, aka the good. Do you enjoy a colorful cast of characters who have strong bonds with each other? Do you enjoy a story that unfolds through flashbacks and incorporates several big reveals and opens your eyes to what's going on? Do you like anime that emphasize fighting and use unique powers to defeat enemies? Do you enjoy an anime where the main protagonist and his friends are constantly struggling to defeat their enemies? Alright, so the kind of people who would dislike Needless, aka the bad. Do you dislike stories told with flashbacks and prefer a story that takes place in a sequential order so character motivations are always understood immediately? Do you dislike a main antagonist who is cliché and has similar motivations to every other villain ever? Do you find it frustrating when the main protagonist and his friends are always somehow getting powerful enough to win a battle, even when the odds are slim to none? Do you dislike convenient plot points that allow the heroes to win even though they really shouldn't? Do you dislike when an anime diverges from its source material and creates an artificial ending? Alright, so let's wrap this up. If you're looking for a fighting anime with a colorful cast of characters, a strong story that unfolds at a nice pace and centers around humans with special powers and a good versus evil power struggle, you'll likely enjoy Needless. Well, that's pretty much it. Hopefully you found this review helpful. If so, click like and subscribe for more content just like this. Also, be sure to check out my OST reviews as well. I look forward to seeing you on the next episode of GBE Reviews. Again, I'm your host Joe, saying to you, Jeanne.
Oh, please don't let me die.